and welcome to Barcelona, Spain, where the race for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup is about to get underway. Today, all 6 teams, Ineos Britannia, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, American Magic, Rossa Prada Pirelli, Orient Express Racing Team, and the defender, Emirates Team New Zealand, will take to the water for the start of the curtain raiser event, the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Over the next 4 days, all teams will race each other. 1 point for a win and nothing for a loss. On the final day, the top 2 scoring teams will race off in a single match race. This series carries no tangible prize, but pride and bragging rights are at stake. Every team is hoping this will be their year to celebrate, and it all starts now. Let's head to the water for the first of 4 races. First up, Switzerland's Alinghi Red Bull Racing against France's Orient Express Racing Team.
They're gaining time. We have to say Alinghi Red Bull Racing here in a fairly strong position coming down there. French looking late to me from here. It should be quite a big advantage.
We are good to go. We are officially underway on the road to the 37th America's Cup. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Orient Express Racing, first out of the gate.
It looks to me like Orient Express aren't really firing on all cylinders. Something's not quite right in the boat, and hopefully we'll hear from them soon.
Let's go into the water. Chase zero. Peter Lester, what did you make of the start? Everything okay with both boats, you think?
Yeah, I just think the French were late and probably they paid the price procedurally. It's so important to be very accurate in pre-start, but I just think the French probably had issues getting their time on distance right for that entry, but we've seen they've got good pace. They'll be trying to just claw back vital boat lengths as they go up League One.
Nice one. Pretty straightforward manoeuvre here for Alinghi, just hitting the French here, keeping in between them and the mark. It's a pretty straightforward match racer here from them. The French have really got not many options here apart from just trying to keep their ear clean and actually keep in touch and try and claw back a little bit of ground by sailing the boat accurately from here.
Heading into gate 1 for the first time, it will be Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Confident start for them as they head to that top gate.
5, 3, 2, 1,
The one thing you will see and notice at the bottom, you'll see the speed. You watch those speeds rise with a head downwind. Followed through by Orient Express.
Well, we had 8 tacks on that first upwind, Stephen. Plenty of work for the cyclors and a real classic match racing move.
So the one thing we did warn you about was downwind the speeds would crank up, and as you can see, they're already sitting to 43, 44 knots downwind. We can let you into a little bit of a secret that when they get going, we have already cracked the 50 knot mark, and oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
But you look at 12.6 knots of wind and they're doing 43, 41, 42 knots of boat speed. Pretty incredible to be doing over 3 times wind speed in these conditions. So Orient Express Racing made up a second on that downwind from the top mark, so they're not dropping back. So they're actually, if they can keep their bow clear and sailing clean air, they might be able to chip away. If they can mow the boat well and sail it accurately and stay in touch, the race remains open.
Let's go to chase zero, Pete.
Yeah, both boats are coming across directly on starboard towards us. It's just interesting. The French are up to windward and they're holding lane really nicely. Alinghi were strong immediately off the tack, probably when they got in that little fresher breeze, but I'd be thinking there that the French made a nice little gain coming across on starboard.
Very nice one. 12, 8, 5, well done.
You might suggest, looking at the numbers, that they have picked up about 80 or 90 metres, the French, on that bottom mark where they were about 200 behind. So this upward leg has been a strong one for Orient Express Racing as we head towards the top mark and get to the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, really nice tack there by Orient Express Racing. They'll be really happy with that, and just need to lock the boat in, get it really dialed in here, and you know, they won't be too far out of the picture. So it's all about millimetres in these games. So all the little movements, all the little trimming that the boys will be doing, the cyclors powering those hydraulic pumps to adjust all the sail plan. It's a real choreography that they need to get dialed in to get these AC75s around the track cleanly.
I'm just seeing a slight drop in the pressure in the wind speed, and I think through that lighter phase, you know, from the bottom mark to about where they are now, it just looked like the French had a little bit better pace on leg 3 coming up to the stop mark.
Orient Express Racing managed to claw back some of Alinghi Red Bull Racing's lead, but they couldn't hold it. We are experiencing sailing like we've never seen before at speeds and competition like we have never seen before. And Alinghi Red Bull Racing are about to get the first point on the board in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. They have done it well, and there they go. They cross the line, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing will take the 1 point for the win against Orient Express Racing. So perfection pays dividends. Alinghi Red Bull Racing win the start, keep Orient Express Racing in the rear vision mirror, and take the first point in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta.
There is still many things to improve, but the team did a really fantastic job, and we just work on the details, and it's always great to get the first win of the series here.
Up next, two old foes go head-to-head. It's the defender, Emirates Team New Zealand, against Italy's Rossa Prada Pirelli.
25 to the start.
All good.
Just 19.
Big push, boys.
Yeah, they're starting to come hard now. Yeah, big push, you guys.
Happening.
One border. 13. All good on the back.
10 seconds to go for race 2. Who gets the start?
Start touching. Racing.
Punch it. Find them right.
Both boats beautifully timed to the start, but it's Emirates Team New Zealand with their nose in front. Race 2 of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. What a start!
Yeah, fantastic start there, both boats. I think Emirates Team New Zealand there executed that a little better than Rossa Prada Pirelli, and they'll be wanting to stay in touch with Rossa Prada Pirelli here as they head across. They'll be wanting to not give them too much gauge and make them pay. Use that small advantage to really make them pay on this next intersection over the next minute or so.
Let's go to Peter Lester on Chase Zero, our hydrogen zero emission boat. Pete, what did you make at the start?
Well, different venue, but same game as what we saw in Auckland, of course, in 2021. And Jimmy Spittle against Peter Burling, that's first class, that's the first division. But lovely start by both boats. I give a slight advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand as we're coming up to the first cross.
1 point down. Slowest turn.
Button. Just on the bottom of one.
They're out.
They go
Rossa Prada
back.
Pirelli having
It's
to
right.
tack away there. There was no way they were going to be able to live there. So really, really tight racing there. It'll be interesting to see how far Emirates Team New Zealand let them go here. Not too far by the looks of that early tack. So they'll be wanting to keep really, really tight and try and maintain that advantage over Rossa Prada Pirelli all the way up this beat as they tack back and try and go bow on bow.
Wind looks good in that right-hand side. The wind field telling us that there's more pressure right where the Italians are.
Oh, hang on! A mistake by Rossa Prada Pirelli. How costly will that be?
Could be a possible shutdown of the boat there for those guys. Not sure what's going on there. We'll try and listen.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Maybe the boat is back here, guys.
Hey, let's try and go jib.
Let's try and get a replay on this now. Just having a look, coming out of the tack.
They've
said they've lost the boat, so that will be a systems failure on the boat, which is a real shame for Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. At this point of the proceedings, you can just see there, they've lost the boat. Rudder's basically gone full negative and just forced the bow of the boat into the water, so they've had to actually do a full shutdown there and ease everything off. So real shame there for Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. Hopefully we'll get some more information in time to come.
Glenn, just explain, what does that mean? You've lost the boat. It's the computer or the power or everything?
Yeah, look, basically it'll be a system shutdown on the boat, so the computer basically will shut down, so all functionality on board the yacht that's controlling the foils and the sails will generally shut down. So sometimes you can lose little things, but this sounds like the whole boat has actually gone into a shutdown mode. So it's a bit of a shame. You can hear Jimmy Spittle saying there they've got the boat back, so it's obviously rebooted, and unfortunately they'll be out of the race from here.
A systems failure left Rossa, Prada, Pirelli with no option but to retire.
Rossa, can you open the comms with the boat? There's an issue. You wanna stop the boat, please?
Italy, can you please confirm that you have retired so that we can open up the comms?
Race committee. Italy, we've retired.
Thanks for that, Italy. Race committee copies.
Confirmation that Rossa, Prada, Pirelli have pulled the pin on race number 2 in this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Winner, race 2, Emirates Team New Zealand. That's come from our race management committee, so they get the 1 point, the all-important 1 point. Remember, they race each other once, and then the top 2 on the last day will face off in the match race final to win the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta here in Barcelona. So Emirates Team New Zealand kickstart their campaign with an easy, uncontested win. Coming up, American Magic and Ineos Britannia head to the start box, and then Rossa, Prada, Pirelli and Orient Express Racing take to the course again in search of that first elusive point. That's after the break. As you've probably heard, to win the America's Cup, you need the fastest boat. Design decisions made months and years ago will ultimately determine who gets to hold the cup aloft. Let's head to the water as 2 of the heavyweights, American Magic and the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia, go at it.
Ineos Britannia looking to build speed and actually get a speed differential to hook American Magic here. American Magic accelerating, shutting the door. 10 seconds here.
Race 3 is go in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta here in Barcelona. The New York Yacht Club's American Magic in the foreground. Beside them, Ineos Britannia, the official challenger of record.
Very similar. Trying to work a bit of height now.
Okay, you're on 0 offset.
Yeah, I'm on 1.
30 seconds.
On board USA here now.
Making a little bit of a high groove here. I copy. Happy to take it. Yeah, nice on the jib. Okay, we are closing gauge.
25.
Nothing in this race at the moment. Both boats very evenly matched here. Slight advantage to Ineos Britannia for me.
Okay, we're very close here. Standing up a bit higher.
Getting near the boundary.
Okay, he turns, pressing here.
Okay, 15.
They're fielding for it. On the move. 28, speed's coming.
5.
Yeah, a nice DMG mode here. Okay, average shift here. It's coming out. 38 head all the way.
Down to chase 0. Peter, what did you make of that start? Gee, I've got to say, Ineos Britannia looked quick today.
Yeah, Ineos looked really fast off the line. I think they had a nice speed build, but when they came over to the left, I was quite impressed by how American Magic just managed to climb out underneath. They were gauging in on Ineos, and what's really noticeable between the two boats is the projected hull area aerodynamically. American Magic looks a lot less hull to push through the air than Ineos. Interesting that the designers to come up with a solution have come from different corners of the rule, but I am impressed looking at American Magic. She certainly looks to be enjoying these conditions.
I think we don't have much.
1, forward down. 3, 2, 1, mate. Turning. Rewind. 2, 1, going board. We are strong, normal VMG. They duck, then copy. We duck us by a couple of lengths. To lengthen. Okay, mate's coming on, boys.
Really nice gain there by Ineos Britannia on that right-hand side of the course. A little more pressure possibly over there, Shirley, as we've been talking about this morning.
Yeah, we could see that on the wind field. And one of the joys of having two helmsmen is that we get a running commentary from the one that's not steering. It is so good. We know exactly what they're thinking. They're painting a picture, not just for the other helmsman, but for all of us.
Have American Magic made gains on the first leg upwind?
I think we're around the issue here. So, just don't bear away anytime.
So it's Patriot around the top mark for the first time with a slight advantage. Let's see what that will be. They're saying 6 seconds. Game on.
Just across American Magic. Just across in front there. Too close to do a jibe in front of Ineos Britannia there. They would have actually infringed if they had tried to jibe in front there or get hooked. So very, very even race, Shirley, as we come downwind here at the moment.
If we get those 190s at the bottom, it'll be...
Today really is reveal day. It's for all of us to take a look, but also all of them to collect data. And how exciting is it to start to get some real speeds off these machines?
And clear across just.
Yeah, only saying 20 metres in it here, so basically a boat length in it, so really, really tight. Be really interesting to see how they play this bottom end of the course here, because the British will want to split here to not get hit by the Americans at the bottom of the course. The Americans will have to take a guess of which way the British will go here, so quite interesting.
It's going to be a 2-board turn. Going board. 10 seconds.
Copy.
Follow them in right turn here. They're really just focusing on our manoeuvres and we'll stick
Heading into the bottom mark for the first time, and there's nothing in this. American Magic will round the bottom mark. They'll take the right-hand mark as they see it, and up on the upward leg. And followed straight away by Ineos Britannia.
Straight into attack Ineos Britannia here for sure, and yep, around they go. They'll be really wanting to stay in touch here. The Americans going with them, which is the right thing to do. They'll basically shepherd them across to the right-hand side of the course and make them pay on the way back. They'll be basically looking to hit them on the next tack and actually put them in the dirty air.
Keep going straight if you can.
Let's go to chase zero, Peter Lester on the water. American Magic look a different boat than we saw yesterday. They look quick.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I think just what she's... Her drag coefficient, I think, must be quite low. The boat has lower top sides and it looks pretty slippery in these conditions. And coupled with that, when the boats were close together, I just thought American Magic had a little bit more height, and that was impressive off the start line. And they've picked two beautiful ley lines at the top of leg 2 and leg 4. So American Magic have put together a very impressive race here against Ineos.
A huge psychological blow, too, you might say, to the old enemy in Ineos Britannia. But American Magic will take the win in race number 3 of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta and score that all-important 1 point. So American Magic pulls the rabbit from the hat, scores a psychological blow against Ineos Britannia and takes the winning point. Up next, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Orient Express Racing Team head to the start box for the fourth and final race of the day.
Orient Express Racing at the moment with a couple of unforced errors there as they get to grips with sailing these AC75 class yachts in racing anger.
So let's look at Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Looks like time on distance is going to be an absolute peach in the final race of the day. They're sailing against themselves at the moment, but most importantly, they'll want to be able to complete the full 6 legs.
The umpires trying to restart.
So basically, the French there over the course side of the line early there when the gun went. So the restart from Richard Slater there, which is exactly what the French are doing now.
Penalty clears. Penalty's clear.
They've cleared their start line and now they're off. But Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli will just be boosting it over to the left-hand side of the course there, Shirley.
I mean, the French were, well, nearly a whole boat length over the entry line there. I mean, is that software errors or just getting to grips with it or just, you know, just a mistake?
Yeah, it's a really good question. You'd hope that it's a software issue, but I'm not sure there. We'll have to wait and hear from possibly Terry Dullar from the coach boat at some point during the race. But watching Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli here, they are really sailing well.
On to chase zero, Peter Lester, did you get a first-hand view of what was going on with the French?
Well, yeah, coming in, they did fall into a light spot and they just fell off the foils, and then it just takes such a hard speed build, you know, when you're trying to get down below the line. And really then from there on, it's all just back foot stuff. But with time, you'd think they'd rectify those pre-start. You haven't got a lot of time in terms of only 2 minutes. And if you do make a handling error, it's so costly. But Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli really just dominated. They went out to that windward side. They waited their chance, and now they are gone and looking superb as they head up, heading over towards the right.
Orient Express Racing, their learning curve is a steep one. That's a second poor start they've made, to be honest, and it has cost them. But I'll repeat again what we've said before. We had a chance to see them in practice racing in the last couple of days, and once they get going, it's a quick boat. This is about fast boats. It is a quick boat.
Yeah, they're a quick boat and they're a talented bunch. I mean, they are. You've been working with them. They're sort of inhaling knowledge, aren't they, the whole time? And you know, I've high hopes that they're just going to get better and better at rapid pace.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli around the top mark for the first time.
Catch.
Now I was about to say, that's pretty tidy.
On track there, I think, just so you know.
Wasn't their best one. You heard Jimmy Espidal say that he was blocked out on the Traveller, so he's obviously getting to a pressure relief setting there on the Traveller, so that's interesting to hear on the comms.
And Orient Express Racing go around the left-hand mark, as you can see it on your screen, whatever size of screen you may be watching on. And
yeah, that's a nice rounding from the guys there. They're you know, they've got round there pretty cleanly and you know, sailing downwind pretty well here. So if they can lock in, keep sailing the boat cleanly, that's the most important thing for these guys to do at the moment, is just get the boat round the course cleanly, because the package we're all hoping is going to be pretty good and get them in the mix for sure.
Just looking at wind on the water, I'm looking down the track now, and certainly there are some lulls, and that shows up as just a lighter colour on the water. Both boats, for me now, are heading into more pressure as they head over to the right-hand side. There's certainly nothing wrong with Orient's down pace. A fast boat, they've just got to figure out, you know, getting that detail, the crewing, and especially getting off the line. So France touched down, they went into the jibe, they looked all right, but then they flew quite high and they touched down. So again, it's just those control issues that are limiting the French. I think speed-wise, the boat looks fine, but that manoeuvre, the mark rounding looked good. It was that first jibe that was costly. That will be valuable seconds lost.
For the second time in a day, the French pay the price for a mistake in the start box and end up playing a game of catch-up that can't be won. It makes for, quite selfishly, some beautiful television when you see boats like this coming at you. Graceful, knowing that they are some of the fastest big boats in the world now, going around a course for the ultimate prize, eventually. It's a long way off. October 12th, the start of the match. Who will face Emirates Team New Zealand? Will it be the team that faced them last time? Who knows? We're only the preliminary regatta, and Rossa, Prada, Pirelli in their second race of the day get the points this time and cross the line in race number 4. That solitary point valuable after their system's failure back in race 2.
Yeah, obviously we're disappointed with the first one. We would have loved to have a good little hit out there with our old mates from New Zealand, but from another point, it's great to you know, sort of sort that issue out now when it doesn't count. So yeah, the boat's going well, but we're still a long way off where we need to be and plenty to learn.
So the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup Preliminary Regatta roars into life. After day 1, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Emirates Team New Zealand, American Magic and Rossa Prada Pirelli finish with a win and take their place on the leaderboard. But this is just the start. Tomorrow is a new day and we'll be back with more supercharged racing.